How's it going, everyone? Adam Bongiovanni back here with another OnlineBookClub.org Thursday interview with one of our Book of the Month authors. I'm here with the Book of the Month author from May of 2017, Kailey Geiger, the author of Farmer Beau's Farm. Kathy, how are you?
I am doing great today.
Thank you so much for joining me. I've promoted your book so much since it's been a year since it's been the Book of the Month, so I feel like I already know you. So this is just fantastic that we're finally getting to speak.
Okay.
So before we get into more detail on you and your life as an author and beyond, tell me a little bit about Farmer Beau's Farm and a little description of the book.
Okay, well, Farmer Beau's Farm started out when my husband and I were outside, and we live out in the country, and so there were 6 little kittens that come by and their mother, and so we enjoyed watching them. Well, my granddaughter Kailey was visiting us one day, and so she enjoyed watching too. So I decided, she was probably about 2 and a half at the time, I decided to rewrite a story for her. Well, then I have 2 other granddaughters, and so I let them choose an animal too. And I neglected to say that it was going to be a farm animal, so I had 1 bunny, which was fine, and 1 giraffe. But then I thought, well, do I decide, tell her that she has to choose a farm animal, or do I go with it? And I decided I'd just go with it. So that's how the moral of the story came about, is that although we have differences, we all can learn to get along together. Wow. And so that's how the story came, and I had kind of set it aside, and then after my husband died, I got it back out and went over it, then decided, well, I'll try to publish it. And that's how it came about.
And it all ended up working out because it seems like, based on the reviews I read about this book, that people absolutely love it. For you, someone who went to this book, or went into writing this book with an approach, you said, you know what, I'm just gonna go for this. How does it feel to get these people who are telling you how much they love your story, something that you created?
Well, I really enjoy that, and I really enjoy reading, or checking over the reviews of that. Mm-hmm. And it amazes me how, I may not have thought about the book doing certain things or being, for certain areas. Mm. And it's got, people with the reviews see it at a different angle or see how it can be used differently. I just basically wrote it for enjoyment and trying to get a lesson across, that we all need to learn to get along. But I really enjoy that. And since I started it after I retired from teaching, I kind of took some of the things I learned through teaching about how students or how children interact with one another. So.
That's fantastic, though, because you write this book and you have kind of one message in mind, but then the beauty of books is that people can perceive them and view them in any way that they see fit. So I feel like that's such a cool thing for a reader, and that's why I think I love reading so much, because you can interpret the book in any way you want and kind of adjust it to what you're going through in your life. Now, for today, the world we live in today, I think your message is absolutely amazing. Do you have plans to write any more books in the future? Are there any more kids books, or do you want to expand into other genres? What are you looking to do as a writer in the future?
Well, in fact, I have one that will soon be coming out, another one, and it's a sequel to Farmer Beau's Farm.
Oh, great.
And it's called An Adventure Awaits. And in fact, I wrote it, and then they decided, different people that had read it decided that maybe there was too much in it, so it's broken down. I mean, An Adventure Awaits will be coming out, I presume, towards the end of April, and then The Intruders is coming out later on this year after the illustrations get done.
Wow.
But, and I ended up with adding 3 new characters to this book, because I had a step-grandson that the girls thought I needed to put in, and I also have 2 new granddaughters that needed to be put into Farmer Beau's Farm. So it kind of takes off from Farmer Beau's Farm, and they go on an adventure and find these other animals. So I won't give too much of the story away, but hopefully it'll be a good lesson, some lessons in the first, others, and then since I do live out in the country and on a farm, and my husband was a farmer, and I grew up on a farm myself, I know how different animals could come about on the farm, and some are friendly and some are not so friendly. So
No, you'd probably know that better than anyone. And that also, it takes you right into the real world. Some people are friendly, some people aren't. You learn as you go. But I think it's also special with you as an author, you're able to include your grandchildren. So when they get older, and then they have families, and they grow up, this is going to be something special that they could also share with them and pass the books and your book series on for generations to come. So that must be pretty cool for you, that you know this book series is probably going to live with, of course, a ton of other people out there, but also it's going to be something very special for your family in particular.
Yes, it really is, and I really enjoy it. I mean, I talked with my granddaughters when I was doing the second book and tried to get ideas from them, as to what animals they thought, could be included or what lessons could be taught. And I know they enjoyed showing their book around, and the one granddaughter takes it to school and has shown her teacher, her librarian, and that, and had it like as a book of the day for her class. And so that's special to me that they enjoy it and they're keeping it. And I hope to inspire them and anybody that reads the book that if you keep dreaming, because if you have a dream, go for it and don't think that you can't do it, because no matter what your age, you can fulfill that.
It's such a beautiful message to pass along, and I admire that so much about you and other authors who just go for it, and you reach your goal. And a lot of people, I feel like, probably wouldn't write a book because they'd be fearful of failing. So the fact that you and so many other authors can preach this message and say, you know what, I did it, I just went for it. And I'm sure it stems from a love for reading and writing, and you just go for it. So I commend you for that. And I know if I were in elementary school or middle school or whatever, I think I would, and somebody in my family wrote a book, I think I would tell everyone until they were blue in the face and didn't want to hear it anymore. So I think that's so cool, and I think I'd be in the same exact position as your grandchildren. Now, for you as somebody who wrote this book, and I'm assuming someone who loves reading and writing, when did you when did you realize you wanted to write a book? Was it years and years ago, or was it just recently when you decided to write Farmer Beau's Farm?
Well, I had always kind of thought it'd be interesting to write a book and or fun to do it. Yeah. I just wasn't sure how to go about it necessarily, how to get it published. Let's put it that way. And through my teaching, I like to tell little stories once in a while to try to get certain points across to the students, and hopefully I wasn't just, going on and on and on, but and trying to get moral thought through little stories. But so it has been a dream of mine. And then finally, when I wrote this story, I was just going to share it with my family, and I thought, well, let's go for it. And so yes. I think it does help with the self-publishing books that you can get it out there for people to see and have a book on your shelf that you wrote.
No, and I'm sure as a teacher, you probably had to read so many different books in class, and you probably always dealt with giving the kids new books. So now isn't it great that your book is going to be the one in classrooms? Your book's going to be the one that teachers are showing their students. It kind of all came full circle.
It did, and I mean, I taught, the school I taught in, I went up and I read the book to them, and I'm going to be at their Fine Arts Festival here coming up in April. And then I will go back and I'll sub at this school. And I have one little boy that'll come up and go, I'm writing a story again. I think someday I'll, publish. And I said, go for it.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I like to see, is that it inspires others.
That's amazing, and that's what's so important today, because I feel like a lot of, whether it's young kids or older adults or whoever it may be, that writing a book is such a big task. But for people like you who go into these schools and you said, look, I've done this, you could do it too, that's so important, especially for the younger generation. And with the way technology is nowadays, I feel like some people might shy away from reading and writing. So we need more people like you, Kathy, who are really inspiring others to read, inspiring others to write. So that's amazing, and I just want to, it's a very commendable thing that you've done here. And I'm just beyond impressed with this. And you're coming out with 2 books this year. People could have trouble coming out with 1 book in a decade. You're coming out with 2 books in 2018. So I'm excited for them. I'm sure there's so many people who read Farmer Beau's Farm that are excited. So when they come out, where could people find them? Is there a specific website? Is there social media? Where could people find these new books?
I I believe they'll be on Amazon.com and on BarnesandNobles.com. I also have there's a site called Farmer Beau.
Yes.
FarmerBeau.com, I believe, is a site that they can go to, and I haven't been real good at keeping that updated, but I intend to keep it updated, now more. And I've also, what I've done is I've created the stuffed animals. We basically get that for my granddaughters, but then I do make the smaller ones or larger ones. There's about 3 different sizes that I will, make for people.
Oh.
So that's neat. And then when we had a book signing, I had bookmarks made of each of the characters, and then I brought my granddaughters into the book signing, and then they were able to sign their bookmarks with their characters for the people.
Oh, that's amazing. So you went all out for this. You've really done a lot with this, and that's fantastic. And I'm sure there's so many kids out there and parents out there that really appreciate all you've done. And your website is awesome, so I don't want you to knock your website at all. I'm actually on it right now. It's farmerbeau.com. So anyone who wants to find Farmer Beau's farm, and I'm sure Kathy's future books will be included. There'll be a link to get them on there. You can find them on Amazon. We're going to link everything in the description below. So, Kathy, before you go, I got to ask you one final question. And as someone who's worked on a farm and been around animals, I'm sure for a great portion of their life, what is your favorite animal? And you can only pick one.
Oh dear.
I had to put you on the spot, Kathy. I had to.
I'll have to say a dog because we're more of a grain farming. So I like my dog.
Yes.
The dogs that I've had.
It's never a dog is never is always the right answer in that situation, and I stand by that firmly. But Kathy, thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to the next 2 books you're coming out with in your Farmer Beau's Farm series. I've loved talking to you today. I hope to have you on the show in the future when you do come out with these new books. And once again, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No problem. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one. And this is something I talked about in the live show as well. We grew up in different generations, and I feel like I always say this with the authors, but to hop on call with someone and have such a connection where our conversation kind of flowed so well back and forth, I feel like we truly have something we're both passionate about in common, which is inspiring others to write and inspiring others to read. She wrote this book, she said, you know what, I'm going to go for it, and she did it, and she has young kids coming up to her and saying, you know what, I'm going to write the next book. So that's fantastic, it's commendable, and I admire that so much about her, and it was truly a pleasure to talk to Kathy. All the links to Farmer Beau's farm and her future books and anywhere you could find Kathy Geiger, it'll be in the description below. Hope you enjoyed that video. Please give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you next Thursday for another video.